Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the administrative and technical control carried out during an FIM, MXGP and MX2 Motocross World event. Everything starts when a rider wants to enter one of the two classes, MXGP or MX2, but it also applies to those riders who want to enter WMX and the EMX classes combined with every MXGP and every MX2 event. There are riders who have been entered for the whole season so that they have a permanent starting number and normally the same transponder number too. When these riders come to the administrative control, they, their team manager or mechanic can collect the technical form they need to go through technical control. This seems a very simple thing to do, but signing the license and being given a transponder number is usually done at the first event of the year. However, if it is a one event license, every rider has to go through the same procedure. Once the identity of the rider has been checked, his license is printed and signed both on the hard copy of the license and electronically. Then, a technical form is issued where all the information of the rider is printed: name, class, motorbike brand, starting number, etc. With the technical form, the rider or mechanic proceeds to the different checks carried out at the technical control. A rider may present up to 2 bikes for technical control. On the form we can find where to write down all the information about the first and second bike. We check the weight of the bike and the different levers, clutch and front brake, round tip levers. Return of the throttle, return of the foot pegs, start numbers and logos, MXGP, MX2, FIM. Chain protection, sprocket wheel, frame serial number, switch off engine device, transponder bracket, etc. Once these parts have been successfully passed, a seal or wash resistant sticker is applied to the frame. All the data is written down on the technical form for further checks. If the rider presents a second bike, we go through it in the same way, but we must pay particular attention to the transponder bracket on the second bike. The rider also has to bring to technical control his chest and back protection and helmet. The chest and back protection must not be altered in any way and must bear the manufacturer's label. So any protection without a label or somehow altered must be refused. The material will be retained by the technical control staff until the end of the event. A receipt describing the contents retained will be given to the rider in question. Also, the rider's helmet has to be checked. It must not show any alterations or signs of a crash. On the label, it must clearly show the ECE 2205, SNEL or JIS homologation. If we think the helmet does not comply with these requirements, we will keep the helmet until the end of the event. If the helmet complies with the necessary requirements, we proceed to place an FIM hologram sticker on it. We must bear in mind that the sponsors are very important for the riders and teams, so please make sure that the sticker is not applied to any of the sponsors' logos displayed on the helmet. Find an empty space where the sticker can be placed and at the same time is easily seen when the rider has the helmet on. Before a bike is cleared, it sometimes must go through sound checks. During this process, the 2 meter max method is used. The whole device is called the Race Patrol, combined with Race Patrol Lite. As we can see on the environmental map, there are some markings which show the right positioning of the motorbike when it is being sound tested. The microphone is 2 meters away, 45 degrees from the axis of the rear wheel and 135 centimeters high. The bike is tested 3 times in neutral gear. However, we will ask the rider or the mechanic to hold the clutch so no gear will engage accidentally. The bike is revved at full RPM for 1 second. So before doing so, and in order not to have wrong readings, make sure the engine is hot enough. Check radiator temperature. The air pressure and altitude are also taken into account, as well as the type of engine, 2T and 4T. The medium reading is written down on the exhaust pipe end together with the bike's starting number. However, the 3 readings will be noted down on the rider's technical form. If the bike fails the sound test, it simply has to be returned to the paddock for work on the silencer to comply with the sound limit of 114 dBA. After the races, 3 or more bikes are chosen randomly for sound check. The sound check is carried out in the same way, but this time at a different spot, normally somewhere where the riders can be easily stopped. After racing, a +1 dBA is accepted because of degradation, so the maximum sound limit will be 115 dBA. Any rider checked exceeding that sound level will be penalised with 5 positions added to his result. The new position and penalty will be shown in the results. Sometimes, particularly with small classes, the cylinder capacity is measured. The randomly chosen riders are notified and their mechanic has to open the engine to be measured as shown in the video. When the second heat is finished, the bikes of the first, second and third rider of the overall first and second heat are brought to the Parc Fermé. The bikes must remain there guarded for 30 minutes in case of a protest. Nobody can touch the bikes. They will be checked by the technical staff for conformity. Once the 30-minute time has expired, the bikes can be released.